Ladies and gentlemen, fight number 12 this evening is a catchweight bout which will be contested under C-class rules over 3 3-minute rounds. And introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 80.2 kilos and trains out of Combat Lab Martial Arts. Tonight he makes his MMA debut. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for 100% Hank King! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he weighed in at 80.0 kilos and trains out of Game Bred Academy. Tonight making his MMA debut as part of the Season 4 Wimp to Warrior cast. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Luke Chester. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Peter Hickmott.
There we go, it all comes down to Daniel Maudsley before he's put tickets on Hank King's stand up. Let's see if he comes through with it.
Well, boys, here we go. Very excited for this one. Hank King taking on Luke Chester.
Boys exchanged leg kicks early. I'll tell you what, the physique is really up to notch here, hasn't it, lads?
Yes, Hanky hits just as hard as you think he would too.
Big right hand lands. Oh, another big right hand lands, and he's swarming him.
Wow. What an exchange to start this one off. Now pushing against the cage. Good head position shown there from Luke Chester. As Hank King now will look to try and defend himself against the cage.
Hank King rocking the Dan 7 type underwear.
Believe it or not, he wanted to go something even skimpier, but we convinced him otherwise.
Well, not the Dennis Hallman. don't tell Brian Ebersole about that. Boys locking up here. Looks like they're settling into the fight now. You know, a bit of nervous energy, a few strikes. Now they're clinching. This is going to suck a little bit of energy out of them.
We talked about the corner before. Obviously, Luke Chester has got the big man, Victor Lyle. Hank King, very much a very similar physique, doesn't he? Big quads, big thighs, big back.
Very similar physique, but quite a contrast in their styles, though. Hank, of course, looks to get most of the work done on the feet. Victor using that power wrestling base. So, like you said before, Wombat, both guys kind of settling in a bit more. Nice timing on the level change, but yeah. Hank King does well to keep himself on the feet.
Yeah, 100%. That was fantastic timing there by Luke. He's pushed him up against the cage here.
So Maudsley, you're obviously training alongside Hank King. He weighed in at 82 kilos. What sort of weight does he normally walk around at?
Not too much heavier, actually, Matt. He didn't have to cut too much weight for this. He took the fight on quite short notice and was just didn't quite think he could make welterweight. Probably in hindsight, he probably could have. But just 80 kilos of pure muscle. That's what it is.
Tell you what, the future definitely looks scary. If any fighter is looking to cut weight and do it successfully, the gym at Combat Lab are definitely experts at it, with Joel Sepasvari himself leading the way.
That's what science will do for you fellas.
So Hank, of course, with a bit of kickboxing experience, a bit of Muay Thai experience, I should say, and quite comfortable in this position here in the clinch, trading knees. Here he goes to the full Thai clinch. Of course, no knees to the head allowed, so can't get away as much damage as he's probably used to.
Tell you what though, Luke doesn't. I mean, he's not out of sorts here, Luke. Like you're saying that's, you know, Hank's favourite position, but he's doing quite well here, Luke. There's not too much damage going on here. He's pressed up against the cage.
So of course, Luke Chester also with a striking background. So both boys are quite happy to mix it up on the feet here in the opening round.
10 seconds.
Top round to score so far as well.
Oh, very close round. Not quite sure which way that one's going to slide, gentlemen.
Yep, and I'm not going to call it. So fantastic round there by the boys. And I tell you what, the level really has stepped up, hasn't it, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely. And you always get to a point, like I said, in a fight card where out of nowhere a particular amateur or a professional fight will really set the benchmark. And we might be seeing it right now.
So it looks like the two corner teams going to work. Joel Zepasvari, Ty Duncan in the corner there for Hank, talking him through it. Looks like Victor Lyle and Ryan Dunstan get the job done on the opposing side for Luke Chester. So both fighters taking some big deep breaths, you know, settling those debut nerves. Like I said, both fighters with some striking experience, but nothing quite compares to jumping into the cage and letting it all fly. So Very exciting opening round. Not quite sure which way that one's going to go as far as the judges' scorecards are concerned. But two more coming at us if we need them to find our winner here for fight number 12.
So, Maudsley, we've spoken before. You know, we've asked what certain people might be saying in between rounds. You've been in the corner with Joel Zepasvari many times before. What do you reckon he was saying just then? I
think the biggest thing for Hank is just breathe. So you can see Hank's really excited to get in there. This has been something that Hank's really wanted to do. So a little excited now, and I think Ty and Joel just telling him, just breathe, relax, do what you do best, and the results will come. But, well, nice shot from Luke Chester.
Yeah, Luke coming out hot there, and I'll tell you what, after that first round, the boys have felt each other's strength. They've felt their pressure, and I really think this is going to be a fantastic round for everyone at home to watch.
So potential low blow there. Hank King seems unfazed, though.
Oh, nice knee lands there. That's nice. A heavy knee.
Positioned it perfectly as well. It's always scary to come up straight through the gap there with that knee, but put it right on the abdomen.
So Luke Chester well and truly up for the challenge here. Hank King doing a good job controlling him against the fence. So if Luke wants to try and get out of there, he's best to swim for an underhook. Another nice knee to the midsection there from Hank. Bit of dirty boxing in the clinch.
Oh, separates nicely, lands a nice little uppercut there, and that backs Hank up against the cage. Nice knee lands again. Great clinch work here from the lads, just quietly.
Yeah, very technical.
Luke Chester definitely not afraid of the muscles, isn't he? He's definitely not taking a backward step and definitely not worried to throw his fist himself.
I mean, this really does resemble a decent quality amateur fight, to be honest, lads. I mean, these guys in the middle of the second round here, bit of cage pressure, some clinch work. No one's gassing.
Yeah, both fighters look like they're in phenomenal shape, and some great technical exchanges here on the fence. Hank King again looking for those knees, doing a good job here, keeping that controlled pressure on Luke Chester. And Hank swimming down for a takedown.
He's going to get this here,
looks like he'll get it.
He finishes that nicely.
So Hank showing that he's got a well-rounded game. Does well now to get the first takedown of the match.
And every fight night, there tends to be a fight on the card where a lot of people in the crowd are second-guessing whether or not we're looking at an amateur or professional fight. There could be a lot of people sitting in the crowd right now, guessing right now, is this a professional fight with the level of skill and adversity these boys are putting themselves through?
Yeah, 100%, mate. It's fantastic work here from the boys. Hank looking to pass here, maybe.
So Peter Hickmont getting a bit impatient now, calling for some action. Hank King happy to settle here in half guard. 30 seconds to go. The call from Ty Duncan there in Hank's corner.
And obviously we're in C class here, aren't we, Matt?
Yeah, that's right. So no strikes to the head. But obviously to the body is all good to go, as we can see right there.
Oh,
nice, solid
big punches lands right in front of us, lads. Yeah. Another big one lands.
What's his go-to submission, Maudsley?
A lot of base in those hammer fists. Look, he likes to, like all big, strong men, likes to attack those arms. Kimuras, arm bars, Americanas, you name it.
Knee on belly right now. You have no idea at home right now if you've never jumped into a jiu-jitsu competition or a jiu-jitsu training session to feel the pressure of what that knee on belly would be doing to you right now.
Mate, I've had your knee on my belly earlier, and trust me, it's not too handy. I give you the tip.
So, slightly more dominant round there for Hank King in the second. Likely will go to the blue corner, that one. Could well and truly be locked up here, or Hank King could be up 2 rounds. Coming down, of course, to the scoring of that opening round was a pretty close one, so not sure exactly how we're sitting heading into the third and final round.
You've got to be confident.
So it looks like there was a bit of a cut opened up there on Luke Chester towards the end of that round. Did see some blood streaming across the forehead. Not quite sure what it was, as we see our referee there, Peter Hickmont, clearing the cage.
Seconds out, all right. Pete's really stomping on him here. This has been a fantastic contest so far. Possibly 1-1, maybe 2-zip.
That's exactly right, Wombat. Like I was saying before, just comes down to that first round, but yeah, I think we can all agree the second round likely gone the way of Hank King.
Yeah, 100%.
But that first round was fairly close.
Bit of Boney M on the tunes there, lads, eh? Bit of Rasputin for everyone that's over about 45 at home.
going to say, mate, unless it's Shannon Knoll or Michael Jackson, I can't give you the title of artist, unfortunately.
Mate, has he given your shovel back yet, or what's going on there?
So hands low here from
spinning back kick there.
Luke Chester. Yeah, nice technique there on the
Just
jumping
missed,
spin.
Dan.
Hank King looking to close the distance again. That knows that he had a fair bit of success in the first round working his wrestling and top pressure game.
And I mean, just looking at his physique, this would be the perfect sort of game plan for Hank. I mean, you know, sort of muscle him up, push him up against the cage, land some knees, do a little bit of damage on the inside.
Yeah, we've spoken about the corners quite a few times tonight. You look across now to Luke Chester's corner. You got Ryan Dunstan in the corner, Victor Lyle. In terms of who's been the most vocal, Victor Lyle is the one that's screaming everything out. So, Maudsley, in terms of playing roles in the corner, do you actually decide who is the one that's screaming or the one that's talking or the one that takes control of certain situations?
A lot of the time what happens, Matt, is your primary cornerman is generally your head coach. So, for example, in Hank's corner, we have Joel Zepesvari. In the corner of Luke Chester, we have Ryan Dunstan. It's usually your secondary cornerman that's actually going to be doing the yelling. So we can see Victor Lyle and Ty Duncan on the other side doing most of the vocal work in the corners.
Have you found yourself ever yelling something out and getting a slap across the
quick clip
nice
over the
little
ear?
nudge? Yeah.
Generally, you wait for the approval from your primary corner.
Nice knee lands there from Hank.
Must be a good feeling, though, mate, yelling something out, seeing your teammate throw it and getting a result from it.
It's almost like playing a video game if you've got a good enough fighter.
Pete might be looking to separate him here. He's looking for a little bit more engagement.
Yeah, not a whole lot of action as we see Hank just touching the head there with a couple of short shots.
And this is a great game plan from Hank. Do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of fighters will go out there, they'll try and finish and all that sort of thing, but this is very slowed down. This is very appropriate. Do you know what I mean?
He's picking his shots, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%, yeah. And there it is from Pete, separates him. But I tell you what, I give it about another 15 seconds and it'll be in the same spot.
Yeah, that's right. And funny enough, as an MMA fan and supporter, I was actually happy to see that continue on the cage there.
I agree, Matt, 100%.
The way that Hank was picking those shots was beautiful to watch.
And again, right on cue, Wombat. So back up the fence, beautiful head pressure there from Hank. That's something that the team there at Combat Lab are really, they really push on their fighters, controlling that spine, can really take away the opportunity to swim for that underhook and get off the cage.
It really is Zepesvari 101, isn't it?
Yep.
I mean, this is grueling. This is the way that he likes to fight out of the gym. And it really puts pressure on the opponent to do something to get out of there. Do you know what I mean?
Peter Hickmott has a really keen eye on this fight right now. 10 seconds to go, though, so it looks like we might get to a judge's decision.
Last couple of seconds. And there it is. Another great contest, guys. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I mean, they're going in there with only, what is it? Maybe, 3-6 months training. And here, I mean, look at the shape they're in. Look at the fight they put on. That was actually a very high-skilled fight, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. And after a fight like that, you want to walk away with some memories. And, Luke Chester will definitely have that. He's had that experience now. And again, not many people can say they jumped in a cage with a monster the size of Hank King and came out the other end of it safe and healthy.
100%. Yeah, fantastic fight, guys. Congratulations to both of you. As Dan Maudsley steals my pen. Pretty sure I stole it off him, though. That's okay. But, Matt, we've got a few fights left, mate. What have you got left? What are we looking forward to the last couple of fights? I might be jumping out of here after this fight. But, mate, we've still got a couple of bangers left.
Yeah, we've got a female fight coming up as well. The crowd always loves the female fights, and especially when it comes to Wimp to Warrior. We've done this is the 4th season now, and every time the females jump in there, they do not hold back at all. So excited to see the women in the co-main event throw some fists and show us what they can do as well.
And here's Daniel Maudsley with the announcement.
So, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score the bout 29-28, 29-28. In 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner, 100% Hank King.